Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Here's a look at the satellite and radar picture. You can see that skies are generally clear here tonight. It's been a very pleasant evening across the area. And temperatures, not bad, but starting to cool back down into those mid-40s, 44 in Champaign, 45 in Effingham, 42 degrees in Springfield. Okay, so tomorrow morning, a little cooler for us. Mid-30s to start the day. Lots of sunshine, but clouds are increasing late in the day. We're talking rain chances and quite a bit of wind tomorrow. We'll talk about that coming up. WCIA 3 News starts right now.
Now from WCIA 3 News.
I think it's cool to be able to go to a college campus and get those college experiences.
But it might not be possible this fall, what some students are considering instead. Plus, the stay-at-home order is supposed to expire at the end of the month. There's a chance it could go longer. Why the governor says that one might be different.
It's an invasive species that will completely take over an area.
And it might be easy for you to weed out a garden, but it's a much bigger task for a forest preserve. Now, coronavirus is making it more difficult.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 10.
But in the end, it's sad.
High school seniors already felt the pain of canceled proms and postponed graduation ceremonies. Now they're wondering whether they'll have to postpone their college plans too. Good evening, I'm Paul Cicchini. With the uncertainty of COVID-19's impact on the fall semester, many graduating seniors are considering a gap year before enrolling in college. WCIA 3's Emily Braun spoke to one high school senior who's grappling with that decision.
Brooke Ray is a senior at Tuscola Community High School. Like many other graduating seniors in Central Illinois, she's still coping with finishing her high school experience from home. On top of that, and with the fate of the rest of her senior year decided, Ray is now trying to decide how to plan for the future when the future is unclear.
As far as your decision on college goes, would you say that you're leaning one way or the other right now?
Right now, I'm leaning towards a gap year. And at this point, that's probably what I'm going to do, just because everything's so up in the air still.
Ray planned on enrolling at Parkland this fall, but she doesn't want her freshman year to start the way her senior year will end, on a computer.
As a small town girl, I think it's cool to be able to go to a college campus and get those college experiences.
She's certainly not alone. In fact, Parkland College administrators say they've heard many students are thinking of taking a gap year. The college president says they will be here this fall, and hopefully things will look more normal.
A lot of that is unknown at this point. However, it's our commitment to the community and to our students to make sure that that opportunity is as close to what it was last fall as it is this coming fall.
Potentially missing the full campus experience is one thing. Ray and her friends are worried if there's a resurgence of COVID-19, they'll end up getting stuck alone, missing their families.
Because a lot of my friends are going out of state, so it's, do we go? Because my family's not going with me. I know we're talking a lot about staying with our family right now.
So they're seriously considering putting their families first and their futures on hold. Emily Braun, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
Parkland College told us if students don't want to get behind, they can enroll in general education classes online, knock those out, and wait to go to a university or four-year college later on. Governor Pritzker is suggesting the economy could begin to reopen May 1st. Thousands of businesses in Illinois are in limbo, waiting to see if they'll get the green light. That includes Slumberland Furniture in Champaign. It's implementing new plans to maintain sales while preserving customer safety. But the owner says he's frustrated that some businesses never closed.
It's hard when we see some of our competitors still open. I would really ask them to think about what they're doing, putting themselves and their customers at risk, and it doesn't seem to support what the governor has asked of us, and that's difficult.
President Trump's divided businesses among three phases, helping direct governors as far as how to reopen their states. Now, phase one would allow gyms and large venues to reopen under strict guidelines. Phase 3 permits nursing homes to allow visitors and for bars to reopen. Before businesses can return to some kind of new normal, Governor Pritzker says there needs to be widespread testing. He said you might have to wear face coverings or have your temperature taken to enter public buildings. Our Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell reports from Springfield as states across the country start to reopen their economies at different speeds.
People want to get back to work.
President Trump pressured governors Tuesday to phase out restrictions they put in place to protect people from the coronavirus.
What's happening when you look at the numbers coming down, a lot of states are in really great shape. You're going to see a lot of openings.
In Texas,
get Texas back to work.
Florida,
we have flattened the curve.
Georgia,
reopen their doors this Friday.
And Missouri.
We're going to open the state.
Republican governors are following President Trump's lead and moving quickly to reopen parts of their economies. In Illinois,
the peak is still yet to come. We need to be careful.
Governor J.B. Pritzker warned against the rush to reopen.
To remove it, as I see some other governors may want to do, to remove it entirely is to simply open everything back up to infection. That will go right back up again if you remove all the restrictions.
Pritzker previously said Illinois was reaching its peak on April 12.
Reaching a peaking.
Tuesday, he said the state could reach its peak 1 month later than that. He said experts warn him not to lift the stay-at-home order until 2 weeks after the peak arrives.
If, in fact, the peak comes in mid-May or, whenever that may come, we need to have 14 days after that, as you know, according to many of the experts.
But facing political pressure from Springfield Republicans,
the economy of Illinois.
Governor Pritzker suggested a new stay-at-home order for the month of May could feel a lot different than the one we have now.
We're working hard to try to make changes to the stay-at-home order.
Pritzker gave no official word Tuesday, but did suggest he's considering allowing some regions or some industries to reopen sooner rather than later.
I want to caution that I don't think there's going to be some mass opening of lots and lots and lots of businesses on May 1.
And the governor, who has wrestled with President Trump at times on testing capacity, says that is the key to really opening everything up.
And the fact that we're going to need, a whole lot more, means we have to leave things, still in a place that seems, not normal to everybody and won't be for some time.
Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell.
The governor said he's considering calls to allow golf courses to open, but has not released any details yet. As we first told you on the WCIA 3 News app, 2 employees at ADM in Decatur tested positive for COVID-19. One worked at the bioproducts plant, the other at the East plant. ADM says both had been home for several days with symptoms and had little recent contact with other employees. But the company asked all co-workers who worked in close proximity to quarantine at home. Plant operations have not been affected. Public Health identified more than 1,500 new cases of COVID-19 in the state. That brings the state's total number of cases to more than 33,000 in 96 counties. There are 119 new deaths, which means the contagion has killed more than 1,400. The department also said more than half of the cases reported to them over 2 weeks ago are not having symptoms and have recovered. Nearly 80% of people who tested positive 4 weeks ago have reportedly recovered. A senior living facility in Sangamon County has 7 cases of COVID-19 and 1 death. 4 employees and 3 residents tested positive at the Villas Senior Care Community in Sherman. 1 resident died last week. A healthcare worker at the community was the first to test positive in early March. The county's public health director says they fully cooperated with an investigation. The Champaign-Urbana Public Health District is warning people about scam messages concerning exposure to COVID-19. The scam comes in the form of a text message. It tells the recipient someone they came in contact with tested positive for COVID-19, and they need to follow a link for more information. Some people in Champaign County saw the message pop up and called the Champaign-Urbana Public Health District asking if it's legitimate. CUPHD is sharing the same response it gave those callers.
There are opportunists out there who are trying to, use the system either to make a quick buck or to do other damages or harms.
If you've been exposed, you'll get a phone call. You'll never get a text or email. If you do get written communication about coming in contact with COVID-19, health officials say that is an immediate red flag. WCIA is collecting masks for essential workers in Champaign County, and you can help us do it. There is a shortage. The drive will be April 28th in our back parking lot in Champaign. You should follow CDC guidelines for mask making and put them in a sealed plastic bag. On the 28th, you drive up, toss your mask into a bin, and drive off with no contact. We have a link with instructions on how to make face masks, including a pattern, on our website. The state is providing extra money to help families who qualify for SNAP benefits through a new pandemic program. $112 million will be used for these additional SNAP benefits to provide food to children who are eligible for free reduced meals. That'll automatically be added to family link cards for households with school-aged kids. The state estimates this program will serve about 316,000 families. This program runs through April 30th. Coronavirus means some summer camps are on hold, but not this one. How it's making it work. Plus, one invasive species is taking over a forest preserve. What's keeping workers from getting rid of it this year? And the governor closed schools for the rest of the school year. Now the IHSA is weighing in on what that means for its spring tournaments.